Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stud and Dud presented by the Dallas School of Music. Thank you all for listening. Seriously, thank you. I am Josh Smith. With me each week, Dr. Bob Lawrence. What's up, Doc?
I'm here every week, buddy. Every week, man.
Every week.
It's a good week. Good week.
Another great week?
Another great week.
Anything? More baseball?
More baseball. Went to SeaWorld with the kids.
That's right.
Oh, man.
How was San Antonio?
It was fun.
I'm sure you've been before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Riverwalk.
Oh, yeah, it was fun.
Beautiful.
Went down to the Riverwalk, had some nice Mexican food, and some cold beer.
Yeah, got to. That's why I love margaritas, but man, when I have that chips and queso and dip or the salsa, I gotta have an ice cold draft beer.
Come on, man.
Oh god,
it's classic.
It's
right?
classic.
So, and SeaWorld was great. The kids, it was first time for the kids, right?
Yeah.
So they loved it, man.
Oh man, that's awesome. And there's rides there too.
It's becoming actually more of an amusement park.
It's got
now.
to be. I mean, because unfortunately, kids these days aren't amused with, and then they kind of know. They kind of realize these poor animals that are in captive, for their whole life. It sucks, and that's why hopefully, I don't know how that works, but hopefully they only do it for 2 or 3. I wish they'd only do it for like 3 or 4 years per animal. Get a new, and then the other ones go out back out to sea.
Well, they're fading it all out, man.
I know they are. They're phasing. They should be. I mean, like I said, if they ever did that, the idea in my head should be those things should only be those animals should only be in captivity for 2 or 3 years. Boom out to. But I know it's hard for them to train because then they get to know them, and so it's much easier for the people that work. But
right.
I hate that me being the animal person essentially and
the
the backer upper.
And backer upper.
Yeah.
You're a backer upper, man.
I
just learned that about you today.
Yeah,
man.
right. And I don't do that anywhere else. Like, well, me and Avery, you know that. Oh, why did he back into that spot?
Does Avery say that to you?
No. Because we say it's about other people. Because I only started doing it with this Jeep. I guess because of all the luxury. I mean, the last one had a backup camera, but let's be honest, backup cameras they're nice, but and the beep works nice, which I've had in the last one.
Right.
But you have all the extra ones and the additives in this one, so it just
there's literally not a car in the parking lot.
I know.
And you back up.
And I'm like 10 spaces down, not even by the door. In this one, because I like walking away and kind of go, that's my new ride. That's mine, man. That's my new whip.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm goofy.
Right.
I know. I love how y'all stop me when I walk in.
It's hilarious.
It's cool though. Hey, so I'm glad the kids love San Antonio. We're also talking about next week. We'll sneak preview of who we'll have on. We'll also ask him because we started a spring break rotation, and I think the second one was a little Texas trip because my brother he grew up in Plano, or one of the cities he grew up in. So we made a trip all the way down to Corpus Christi because we thought those beaches were going to look. I mean, they were all right, but they're nothing like the ones.
Anyway, right. You get down to Corpus, you're going to go, huh?
Yeah, we did. We literally did. Why do we drive this far down? We should have just stopped in San Antonio and stayed there for a couple extra days. Because we did stay there. My point being, we went there, river walked it. One of the coolest things we ever did, and they were huge in the late 90s, were those I don't even know what they're called anymore, but it was like a 3D-ish type ride where the huge screen in front of you and you sit really close to it and you kind of do you swing with it or you kind of do stuff with it. And we did I forgot what it's even called now, where they get on the skateboards and they lay on them and they go down those crazy hills. And I forgot what that's called, but you get on the skateboards and you go down. They do it out in Cali or where it's mountainous, and me and Dad were blown away. Wow. And then we did the river walk after that.
Yeah.
We did actually Six Flags, and this is before I get a huge craze into the roller coasters when I finally grew up and realized they weren't scary. But this was like when I'm 13. Oh, by the way, I was too scared to get on the Joker or any of those rides at the San Antonio Six Flags. Right. It was my dad's making fun of me. He's having to ride the roller coaster by myself. I'm like a chicken over here with my mom. I look back, shaking my head, going, Joshua Allen, boy, you were a baby.
Right.
I don't know why, because I loved them. I mean, now as I've gotten older, you get on them, you're kind of like, whoa, when you get off of them, because you don't do it so often.
There's some the roller coasters have come a long ways.
Oh, they have. But yeah, I mean, when I finally started to love them, like I said, when I took that handheld camera on the Titan over here in Six Flags and down. I mean, I finally, oh man, these are really cool. I mean, the speed, I always wanted to, like I said, be a fighter pilot. So it kind of got me, and I was like, that's I think got me over. Like, hey, just imagine yourself doing those loops, or you're trying to, you're Tom Cruise. You're Maverick, all right? Come on, just imagine yourself as Maverick. It's Top Gun.
So not only are you a backer-upper, you have a vivid imagination.
Yes. Well, I'm a backer-upper. I mean, you got to be. All right. Got to get on what's on tap today. A lot of different sports going on as we got PGA Playoffs are starting up, which is kind of shortened that. The PGA Tour Playoffs, the race for the FedEx Cup. Little League World Series. I know you're probably watching a little bit of this.
Oh, yeah, the boys are infatuated with it.
I'm
they love
sure.
it, man.
Yes. NFL kicking into high gear. Last week, I always forget that's Hall of Fame week. This week is actually week one of the preseason.
Did you watch the Hall of Fame ceremonies?
Yeah. Oh, I teared up. Pat Bolin, Champ Bailey.
Yeah.
I've recorded it, so yeah.
Right.
I teared up. Yeah, I definitely says. Hey, I'm imagination, or a backer upper, I'm a tear upper.
You got it all going there,
I do.
man.
Hey, and I love that speech by Valvano real quick. It's a
Yes.
full day, a complete day when you
Right.
laugh, you cry, and
Yeah.
you think.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it is.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
what I liked every day. I got
That's a great speech. It's a
always
classic.
Oh,
It's a classic.
super classic. Then also got to do
We should
finally.
do a show on that. The classic speeches.
Done. Do it.
The classic speeches.
Got to throw some Martin Luther King Jr. in there.
Everything.
I mean, there's
we just go with all the classics.
and then we'll have the studs, and then we'll bring a couple of duds up.
there are a couple of those.
Yes, definitely. And then one we should do during the World Series, we should do the best and worst of the national anthems of all
Oh
time.
my gosh.
And say who's the worst and who's the best.
Oh, that'd be great too.
Yeah.
That'd
All
be-
right. And speaking of, got to do our MLB midseason recap. I know it's about a month late. Let's get over those teams for sure. And Doc, hope you got a story for us today.
Yeah, I got.
There's plenty. I mean, I watch the news. You just watch the news and you're gonna find it.
I got a story for you. I can't wait to get you.
Yeah. In the coveted starter dud segment, we go over how the world has changed since
Oh,
the
yeah.
man Vince Carter was drafted. The
Yeah.
man, the myth, the legend.
What's he
Speaking
in his
of,
fourth decade now?
I mean,
is that the deal?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
By the time he gets into 2020 next year,
Yeah, we all talk about Tom Brady, right? What about Vince Carter, man? Come on, right?
wow. But first, we're in another pair of Air Jordans, breaking them up. Last week the 3s, this week the 5s. Got the Nike here on the back. These are old school, original colorway.
Yeah, those are old school, right?
Oh
there,
yeah,
man.
from 1990 right here. Look at the old meshing on the side.
Yeah, those are old school.
Got the old school Nike Air on the back, like the old school Nike Air.
Wow.
You hadn't seen
I
that
had
in a
my
while. Yep.
Under Armour,
Different color.
different color.
I love it. By the way, wearing this, I meant to wear it last week. This is the Blink shirt from
How
the
was
concert.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Lil Wayne was there, so you got rap first, which is crazy. So you guys would have loved it from obviously Legacy Music Group. Guys would have loved it.
Right.
Anyone should have loved it if you love music, because it's not. For a while, for whatever craziness that he is, because he has a crazy mind, imagination. Lil Wayne did a little rock. He had a little rock album and he's point being, and when he does a live show, he's got his badass guitarist up there, like Jimi Hendrix looking guy. He's got this cool old school type top hat. You know, his shirt's off, he's ripped. I'm like, dude, looks like Jimi Hendrix up there, just wailing away. Doesn't have the fro, but my gosh, but he was just wailing away. Our seats turned into pit seats, which I was first kind of upset about, but then ended up loving.
Oh, wow.
Because the pit anymore, and it's funny, on your bracelet, no moshing, no crowd surfing. I'm like, what? This is the concert of concerts to do that.
That's right. What's the deal with that?
I don't know. I guess for safety reasons anymore, maybe that's not allowed at certain events. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That venue says we're not allowed. I'm thinking it's the venue that says, hey, you can come here, but we're not going to allow that because we want to protect you.
liabilities,
Exactly.
something, yeah, right.
Great seats though, so we're right there. We can just walk right in and out and go get our concessions at Dos Equis. But yes, Lil Wayne, amazing, has his rock group up there, so his songs are live. Even though they're rap, it's live instruments, not just back in the day when
Nice.
you just see a rapper up
Nice.
there and you just hear some,
Right.
what is it called when they just put the music on in the background?
Lip syncing.
But the instruments, it's all like the guys will know. Like
yeah, it's all
exactly.
the
They put the pre-record
pre-record- right.
stuff on. You go what I'm saying.
Karaoke.
Exactly. Essentially, that's what he's doing. A lot of the rappers back in the day would be doing karaoke. That because they'd go see a rap concert.
Don't get me started.
I know
man.
you
Don't
know
get,
about it.
Don't get me
but this
started
is great.
on
That's
that.
why I loved, and that's why they I'm sure went on the tour because anyway. So great for Lil Wayne, of course. Blink. I mean, literally the shirt from 2002. This is the original one. I don't really get tour concert t-shirts anymore, but I would over anyway. Loved them. Great show.
You had good seats.
Just amazing seats. I'm literally 20. Oh, by the way, guess who after the concert actually Instagrammed my wife, Lil Wayne.
No way.
Lil Tunchi is what he's known as. So she tagged a story and then afterwards said, "Let's link up."
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and she was like, "Hey, well, I'd love to make Instagram stories." And so then gave a phone number. Avery by this time she's like passing out. Avery gets a FaceTime number from a New Orleans freaking phone number.
No kidding.
So we're like, catfish here, or we're thinking it's someone who probably runs his Instagram. Some, I wouldn't say nerd, but probably some guy. Like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, I mean, he's probably messaging away anyway. He's like, which one of these fish are gonna catch? Then he's like, hey, Lil Wayne, I finally got one to message me back. Will you act like it's you for a minute? So by the time if I do get her here,
right.
I'm gonna be like, oh, he's busy. He's passed out. Here's what you get, essentially. That's probably what it was. I'm like, I'm sure it's got to be someone in his group. There's no way. It probably. We wish.
You
it
don't
was Lil
know,
Wayne.
man. You don't know.
Hey, my wife loved it. She loved Lil.
She was all over that.
She was like, this is. Hey, she screenshotted it, shared it to the world. Like, yeah, look who hit me up. Right. But it was a great concert. But it just shows you back to we'll get to the sadness of the world that we're still living in. just how fast time flies and just how people take things for granted. Like, that was already a week ago. Like, I'm pumped coming in today, so I'm always pumped coming in today. I'm getting myself pumped up, listening to Detroit Spinners, Rubber Band Man, literally the last song I listened to before I come in here.
Miles Davis.
Yeah, not Miles Davis.
Sorry.
I'm getting a little bit more. I need some more. I need a little bit louder, a little faster tempo. I'm sure Miles Davis has some fast tempo stuff. Anyway, so I'm jamming out. But point being, I'm like, man, that was a week ago already when I was like, yeah, I get to go see Blink tonight. And you get my point. Time flies.
Right.
People need to understand to cherish life.
Absolutely. You're for
Great
a short
concert.
time.
Crazy, wearing the shirt, got the shoes to match. Let's get on with it. Avery Smith, obviously my wife mentioned her. Her name is now changed. We did kind of mention this last week.
I saw that, man. Congrats. It's awesome, right? It's all done?
It's officially done. Last thing we did was send off last year's passport that we got because we went to the Bahamas for our honeymoon, which was amazing. Love the Bahamas. Got to go back. But the passport, what is up with this? Okay. So I've got let me ask you this. How high of a credential would you consider a passport? About as high as you can get.
Right.
So here's how the passport industry, or industry, whatever you want to call them, how the government wants this done. To now change her name, we fill a form out, send her passport in the mail, just some regular mailing that anyone can rip open.
Yeah, not good.
Not really. Anyway, have to send that off with our now marriage the original copy. It has to be original copy. It can't be a copy of marriage license. Anyway, have to send all this important documentation off. And then not have like it's tracking. I know when it gets there, but I have no idea what it's doing. That's the system I have, and just wait for it point being to return back to me. What? USPS and everyone else around you guys, you were living in 1922, and you need to realize it's almost 2022.
Yeah, it's a little, right?
That's a little outdated. Why do we not have the passport, whatever government in each main city, in each state, so we can get this done? That just boggles my mind. I had to throw that out there. I was so annoyed the other day having to get all this done. I mean, it's simple stuff, but I'm like, after I mail it off, I'm like, so I'm just supposed to trust that your passport, hope to God, gets to where it's supposed to go, and then hope to God we get it. I know that's
and get it back.
Yeah.
That would be
get the new one back that says Smith.
So did you do all that?
Well, it's already done. Yeah, we sent it off. We're waiting for it to get back. But yes, everything's been done. We drove down or got a new license. Got
you tracked it.
Social Security card.
It got there okay.
Well, it's still getting there.
Oh, it's still getting
there. So we just sent it out Monday.
All right.
That was the last thing we did.
Can't wait to hear the update on that, man.
Oh yeah. So anyway, back to what I was talking about previously. I know that is so annoying. But anyway. Life's short. I don't understand. I know everyone has a crazy minds are very deep, and who knows what people think sometimes and how they get into thinking things, and of course the people that aren't mentally stable. But just pray for El Paso and Dayton. It's just sad to see that this past week. I mean, 31 people pass in a matter of, it seemed like minutes. Yeah, essentially.
That's right.
Especially in people's lifetime. I mean, a day in less than 24 hours. I mean,
correct.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, to see 20. I mean, I've always thought about that too. We're at these live events. Of course, you got to get the security, but even obviously that's the main thing when you're at the mall or you're in these big where you have a lot of people around, or anyone at one certain time could just go, this is what I'm finally going to pull my crazy moment. And two, just like that. Point being, something needs to be done. I know it's hard to do. People, and you can have guns, but it's just there needs to be more regulations. There should have been.
Well,
different system put in place a long time ago.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this about that. It's tragic, it's awful, but yeah, I'm gonna do a little analogy for you.
Yeah.
If somebody gains 50 pounds and goes to a physical fitness trainer, that trainer will say to that individual, dude, you didn't gain that 50 pounds in one day.
Yeah.
You're not gonna lose that 50 pounds in one day.
Exactly.
Right. This country and the moral fiber of this country has decayed for several decades now.
About a century almost, unfortunately.
Correct.
We're getting into.
And it's going to take the turnaround is not going to be an overnight solution.
Oh, yeah, no. It's
not going to be a law that changes everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not, unfortunately, we're not Australia, which I'd love to be if we had that minute amount of people, especially what even Australia had when they did this 95, 96, when they did the buyback thing. And they abided by it because they weren't a country like ours that had to fight for independence. And now everyone's got that right in their head that I've got to have a gun because it says so in our amendments or whatever. Right. Unfortunately, we're just not that bright. I'd have to say as a country, we're not. Because if so, we would do something similar. But we're not, and we're too far gone because, like you said, And it's going to take time, whatever it's going to be. But yes, I just wish we would have done something forever ago. Is my point.
And we live in a make-believe world. Nobody knows what's real anymore.
No,
especially
exactly,
kids.
yeah.
No one knows what's real.
And people believe we got to the point where people think alien or whatever, we're being controlled. Like I'm being controlled about that. That's how far gone people think. Or 9/11 didn't happen, or this did. And
I will also say too, I believe, violence in, violence out.
Yeah.
In other words, if garbage in, garbage out, right? What we take in, with young kids today, video games, violence,
well, especially
shooting,
when they're sitting
killing.
there all day and doing that. I did that as a kid too, but I was out playing with my kid. I knew, like you said, what was real and what was right and what was wrong. Where kids now, it's almost blurred. Where it's like, am I still playing Grand Theft Auto when I go out and you get my point?
Correct.
Or am I still playing?
People have alternate identities online.
Yeah.
So now there's somebody. I mean, it's whack.
It's crazy.
It's just a wacky.
The world we live in.
So there's a lot of things that point to why somebody the switch flips and they go bonkers and they do ridiculous, insane, and
Literally.
that's what it is, insane acts.
Yep. So all those people that definitely support guns, yada. I know a lot of them obviously back in Arkansas hunt. We get my point. But yeah, there should have been a border forever ago put up to where people shouldn't have certain weapons in their hands, and then also make it harder for those. Like I said, when the Aurora shooting happened, the last one, I think it was the theater, the one in the movie theater. So point being, they did it like we always watch 2020s and all those. The guy went into like 4 or 5 right after that in that area, went around to 4 or 5 different places and got guns that day.
Yeah. Well, look.
And I know because it's like me, you should, I have no background to say you shouldn't, but it shouldn't be. You shouldn't get I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be like, hey, I want a gun. Okay, cool. Here's your gun. No, there should be a lengthy day-long process to make sure that person is legit, is who he is, not just like, you get my point. Right. Or let me go do a 5-minute credit check, essentially.
But you understand, guns it's a symptom. It's not the problem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
Right?
I know. It's the crazy head's going to do something. It's the mind. The mind's going to do whatever it wants.
I told somebody earlier this week, I said, hey, Timothy McVeigh didn't need a gun.
Exactly. And that's
so if you took all the guns away, there's going to be the Timothy McVeighs. They're going to find
their route, whatever it is.
That's correct.
Yeah. So just wish that. And that's the thing, too. I wish we would have done something disciplining what happens to these people. Because now it just comes to the point where they don't even care. Because there is no real discipline. Well, I don't know why. I'm sorry, but I don't know why forever ago we didn't invent like the Shark Island. And you do anything past whatever felony, you go to Shark Island. You don't get food. You don't get water. You're on an island surrounded by, you get my point, of some sort. But just you know that the end-all, be-all is you're dead. Like you're going to die a terrible death. You're not going to go sit in prison and get essentially a luxury life and get fed until you either get death row or live till you die.
Well, see,
we pay for that, by the way.
Yeah,
that's my point.
But here's your point, though. They don't care. Did you see let's just keep that phrase in mind for a second. They don't care. Did you see the picture of the guy that did the shootings?
El Paso?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that dude was dead. He's dead.
Oh, on the inside, yeah.
Do you look at his eyes?
Yeah.
He's dead. That dude's dead. He doesn't care. Yeah. He's dead.
Yeah.
He may be breathing in oxygen, but
exactly.
he's dead.
Yep. I just hate it. I hate it for these people, especially the couple sad stories that stuck out.
Sad.
Andre and Jordan Anchondo, here in El Paso, were expecting house guests for a barbecue that day. It was supposed to be a triple celebration. Andre just finished building that home they were in. The couple were celebrating their first wedding. The daughter was turning 6. They were literally going to Walmart to get barbecue stuff, for the barbecue and school supplies. That's sad. And then in Dayton, the one that stuck out was Lola Oglesby, literally out for her first time after having a baby. Yeah. I hate the life just cut short. Any life. I mean, I'm just such a emotional person, obviously, and life's so important to me, and I just don't understand why people. I don't know. Like I said, definitely more mental than anything. People are going to find their way. I'm not worried about the gun situation. It just sucks that people are that way. People are mean or rude or. Just the way people talk to each other, just the watching the news and the violence you see, and it's like, why can't?
Well, but in some ways we're ostriches with our heads in the sand, because what happens is kind of like a plane crash that kills 200 and some people or 300 people. Everybody gets massively, oh my gosh, it's tragic, and it is, right? But then there's a gazillion people being killed in car accidents every day. My point being is, there's murders taking place in Chicago on a daily basis.
Literally. I mean, someone's being murdered. I'm sure on the clip of every 10 seconds or whatever.
By the dozens.
Yeah.
But we don't hear about. It's not a big. It's not a big number.
Exactly.
It's not a big number every day, and it's not a theatrical, big, huge event where somebody walks in and it just takes our breath away.
Exactly.
Right? But it's sad. It's just sad.
Yep, it is. It is, and it's the world we live in. I mean, I literally just watched, hadn't seen it, being a stock trader. So the initial point of it's called Moneymaker. I'm pretty sure, but it has Julia Roberts and has George Clooney, and it came out in 2016. And George Clooney's like who's the guy that's always the guy you see like on CNBC, and he's loud, and I forgot what his name is. We always make fun of him in the stocks, and he's slammed buy this, and he's doing this, and you know what? But anyway, he's very enthusiastic, theatrical, and so you kind of get my point, mocking the people that you see on TV and buy this and do this and putting on a show essentially, even though he's telling you a financial advisor of sorts. But anyway, guy sneaks into I guess one guy bought into something that he told him to buy into. Well, the stock flipped over, and so like a lot of people lost money. And well, this one guy decided to sneak in, and he's gonna get the guy hostage, so on and so forth. But oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm now explaining the story. Why am I explaining the story? I got lost into this explaining Moneymaker. I don't even know why.
You're having one of those moments, Josh. You're just having one of those
getting
moments.
Old.
Dude.
You're doing those I'm getting old moments. Anyway, and I hate when that happens because I try to switch back to what I was talking
it's a
about.
senior moment, man, and you ain't even close.
I'm not even close. I'm we're halfway there, I guess, at least.
I'm
halfway there, at least.
Halfway there.
Anyway, but regardless, I saw this movie that I had never seen before, and guy snuck in. You get my point. How I don't know what my original point was, but I just remember we just watched it, and I was like, man, it's just crazy how you get my point. He came in with the gun strapped to, but people are going to do what they want to do, whatever they're going to find their means to do. You know
the old saying, man.
Here's what it is. Came back to it. So that crazy stuff happened that day. It's all over the world news because he's on a live show. He's doing a show. It's live supposedly. So everyone's watching it when he's on. And so now the guy's got him hostage. Everyone around the world, is watching literally, and they keep, they're showing that throughout the movie to the end, to where the guy was trying to figure out, and even George Clooney is trying to figure out why there was an algorithm. And so the owner of this company came out. And so point being, in the end, the owner of this company was the reason why this happened. So they're trying to get, anyway, to the end, all this craziness is going on. And of course, everyone in the world's watching it. And by the end of it, everything's done. And George Clooney's having like whatever food or something. Or no, they're having things. Oh, because during the movie, George Clooney is, they talk about takeout. And he's like, he just killing takeout because he's the rich guy and I'd never do takeout. And just, he's like, get an ice pick. But he's, doing all the funny lines they put together for him. At the end of the movie, of course, what are they having together that long day? Some Chinese takeout. And I forgot what, funny line, like, eventually, Julia says something to him about, having takeout finally. And then it kind of pans around to what they're watching, which is the news. And they're showing it's the craziness of they're watching their craziness. And then it just goes straight to all the other craziness. And essentially that should be the story. I'm like, they would be talking about that for hours, and they probably would be. But you get my point. The next day, the day after, even maybe a week.
Right.
It's just on to the next thing because there is just that much happening that. You get my point. Even like the El Paso thing, it'll be a week later. It'll just where they remember it there, but we kind of forget, especially around like Kansas or Maine, Wyoming. They're not even gonna think twice about it or Cali because there's so much going on there anyway.
That's correct.
Anyway, it's sad. Like, that's my point. It's just kind of sad to see that, but that's the world we live in now.
Well, yep, it's important, right? The old saying you hear parents used to tell you all the time, and they still do. Live every day like it's your last.
Oh yeah,
man.
Literally. Even like especially your boys that's why your boys and playing games like, and when because my point being, I remember coaches saying play every minute like it's your last, so on and so forth. So, and that you need to live every minute like it. Live it. Not only play obviously when you're playing.
You do
just
not
never know. Music real quick. Got to get some music in. Being that we're here at the Dallas School of Music, just saddens to see this too. The world we live in. Old Town Road, point being a record's been broken. The top 100 most consecutive weeks at the top spot, which I don't remember when I should have looked this up, when the Billboard 100 came around and when they started tracking these things, consecutive weeks at number one. Well, Old Town Road, have you heard the song? Oh, yes. I'm going to take me down to the old town, or whatever. I don't remember it anymore. Anyway, it has Billy Ray Cyrus, a remix.
Right.
17 straight weeks at number one. Since April. You're telling me there's not another song out there that's not better than that song? Put Bohemian Rhapsody back on even. I don't care. I've just thought of that because it hit my head for whatever reason. But put anything else on, and it should be better than that song for a week. Are you kidding me?
Listen, man.
Oh, my God. That just shows you how sad, how terrible it is. That song is now broken the record and is now number one.
Listen, I used to have a music teacher that ended every lesson like this. He'd go, as I'm walking out the door, he'd go, hey, Bob, remember, don't get too good. People will stop listening.
There you go. You can't be too good.
Don't be too good.
Too good.
Isn't that sad?
I like it though, right?
Because that's what happens. That's what you right?
Hey. Anyway, what's up, Doc? I know you're ready for
Oh my gosh.
What is
What's
it?
up? All right, you ready?
I'm waiting for this.
A little federal investigation I want your thoughts on. There's a federal investigation that will investigate Connecticut high school athletics program. So you're an athlete, so I want to get your thoughts on this. For allowing boys to compete in girls' sports. Girls' track and field events have been dominated by biological males recently. Female athletes contend that the Connecticut's policy is a violation of Title IX, I believe, right? So what you got are all these boys that competed as males who had zero success.
Because the other males were beating them.
Kicking their butt.
So now the lower tiered males are now going to compete with the females.
And they're beating all the women.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Wow. Terrible. Even when I see it, and I've seen this before, I'll follow follow a lot of track athletes, but there's one that I follow, and there was a repost. Point being, it was a male going the transgender route and now trying to run with
that's right.
And I was right, luckily, and I was like, please tell me you're against this, because, and it is, and she showed the facts, and even after they point being, that even after taking, point being, men's hormones and what they produce and whatever, and she broke down everything she had. It was like in her stories. It was like Facebook or Instagram. We can go through and post stories, and it was multiple stories. She was like, point being, go back and compete with your own. And then she broke down because women's I forgot what the numbers were, but men, it was the numbers I just remember. We were like close to 20, and females are like 3 to 6. Mm-hmm. And even after all that, she would still be I was calling her she, the she, or whatever. The transgender woman now would still be at around still double, 10 to 12, still would be double what any female would be.
Right.
And I'm like, yes, I'm sorry, but that, as much as the crazy world we live in, fine, let that happen now. That's what people want to, that's the route they want to go. That's what makes them happy. Fine. But don't go try to then compete with a gender you didn't come from. I'm sorry. You are a male or vice. Well, I guess, females wouldn't be competing with males, but you get my point.
Correct.
I mean, most likely it's going to be a male. You know what I mean? Females aren't going to be competing with males. Males are going to most likely.
This is what I'm telling you, man.
And that's even more to the point.
This is what I'm talking about earlier. We live in a world nobody knows what's real anymore. I mean, no one knows what's real. So listen to this. The Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference allows high school athletes to compete based on their subjective identification with the opposite sex, not their biological sex. The result has been domination of girls' track and field events by biological males, including one male who couldn't cut it in male track and then shattered 10 records in female track. Female athletes in Connecticut say it's a violation of Title IX, and the Department of Education is willing to hear them out. Thank God.
Oh, yeah.
It's not fair to women.
No.
It's absolutely not fair to women.
I mean, those poor girls, are you kidding me?
Right?
Because they are girls still. So imagine their thoughts. Imagine being 16, 17, and the emotions they're going through at that time, a female.
My thought is, hey, men compete against men, girls compete against girls.
Yes.
If you're a transgender,
do the
transgender. There you go.
There you go.
All the transgenders compete.
Yes.
There you have it.
Boom.
There,
exactly, because that's what it is. I mean, that's what you're competing against.
Correct.
I mean,
so compete against transgenders.
I'm right there. Boom. Right. That makes it easier. And I know there's not as many. There will be eventually, and maybe that's why you can't compete. Say, I'm sorry. You can't do it then yet.
Correct.
It's
just not fair.
It's not. Definitely not.
I mean,
I just try to pull but males can dance as good as females. I'm gonna say it'd be funny if some female tried to go be a male now and then went to Chippendales, and then she's now getting the job over all the males because she can dance. But I'm just thinking of something goofy.
Yeah, that's really goofy.
I don't know. I'm far fetching it,
but the deal is, man, boys and girls are different.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely. Even after you try to chemically change it,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with equality.
No. Yes.
Boys and girls are different.
Yep.
Athletically, we're different.
Yeah, we're never going to be on equals. I mean, females, I love y'all to death, obviously. But how many times you're going to put any female in there and they're going to be balling in the NBA? Any of those I'm sure a couple of them could kind of play, but let me go see them play 82 games in the NBA.
Anybody that claims to care about women should be adamantly opposed against this.
Yeah. Oh, well, especially that. I mean, that especially is the main point. I mean, yeah, girls, there's so many studs out there, but then when you're throwing real guys in there.
Come on, please. Please.
I mean, it'd be like the guys that don't get drafted in the NBA or do in the NBA, don't make it, then go play in the WNBA.
Yeah, correct.
It would be almost all male.
That's right.
There'd be hardly, because they're so much bigger. They're getting all the rebounds
That's
now.
right.
Especially the big guys that don't make it.
I'm gonna put a wig on and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Joanna Man. You remember that movie, Joanna Man, from the 90s?
Right.
Good stuff, baby. All right. So all the craziness that goes on in the world, let's get to some good stuff that keeps people together.
You're kind of depressing me today, man.
Well, we got to talk about stuff that goes on in the world. I don't want to leave it behind like we don't know about it.
All right. Okay.
We are realists. We don't live in a world that's fake.
Kind of depressing me, man.
Hey, it's Friday, baby, and guess what? It is another sunny day.
It's another sunny day. So
All
let's
right,
get some good.
Let's get some sports going. The PGA Tour, the playoffs are underway. The FedEx Cup, the race for it, this weekend it starts. And Tiger did not have a good opening round. Shot 4 over, 79. Not good. And why 79? So it must be a par 75? That makes no sense. I must have wrote down 79 wrong because I know he opened with the 4 over. Here's what's funny. Not funny, but I had never heard of this guy. Troy Merritt, he's in the lead at 9 under. He shot a 9 under 62. Usually when you see that happen, you're not going to see Troy Merritt. He's going to finish at 9
I have
under.
a question for you.
What's up?
How old is Tiger? What's his age?
43 to, I think he's 40-something now.
Okay, Father Time is working against old
Oh,
Tiger.
big time.
Okay, when do most professional golfers transition to the seniors PGA?
He's got about 5-ish years left. But that's the thing about Tiger. He's not like a lot of those golfers that can't. He still can hit with, that's the thing. He's still long. So not like long, but he's still definitely long, almost up there with the big hitters today. So that's the main reason why he can easily still compete. I'd say for probably another 10 years because he's not the VJ Sings or the Jim Furyk's, even though they're great golfers. I don't even know if they moved on yet. But you get my point. They never had the distance. They were Mr. Accurate. They had the putting game going on. Tiger always was Mr. Distant. Well, not Mr. Distance. He definitely had distance.
Father Time still has to be a concern.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah. Oh, I'm just like Tom Brady. It's like when is this ticking clock going to finally stop ticking?
Well, Tom Brady may be old, but his offensive line's not.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's true. Well, hey, so
Tiger doesn't have an offensive line in front.
I know, but guess who's not young or old either? Von Miller. So imagine J.J. Watt.
Yeah,
6'5" to 300 to whatever pounds.
Did you hear about him breaking that kid's bike? Did you hear about that?
No, J.J. Watt.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No. What happened?
I don't know.
We have to look that up now.
Yeah, you got to look it up. Look it up.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, by accident. Man.
That is hilarious.
It was just an accident. So anyway.
What, he probably just got on it like Hulk and it just broke. I mean,
he did. He felt bad. He bought a new bike for the kid.
I'm sure. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Imagine that landing on you, coming at you at full speed. So that's what I'm saying. Tom Brady, ticking clocks. I know he's got linemen, but when those guys land on you, oh, I can't imagine. Man, that's what I'm saying. Ouch, for sure. That's why you saw guys like, and even him, Peyton Manning, would just fall. He's like, I don't want to get hit by that. I'm down. Just don't even worry about touching me. Just put a finger on me if you could, please. But anyway, they're out there. It's just weird. You figure they'd put a bigger tournament at the end of the year. The Liberty Northern Trust. That's the tournament this weekend.
Liberty Northern Trust.
Yeah.
Where is that even held?
They're playing. They keep them all up north. It's New York, Chicago. Well, they go back to Chicago for the BMW, I think, next weekend. But there's only 3 tournaments left. The BM Championships next weekend, and then it's the finale, the Tour Championship. So we only got two tournaments left, and he's going to make that Tour Championship where he actually won the tournament last year. Tiger's going to have to do pretty good in one of the next 2 tournaments. Yeah. Because he's in the top 30 or whatever it is, or 25, make that last tournament.
I think he's done. He had his big surge.
He did.
He had his
kind of fallen off.
He had his glory moment. To relive the glory days. Yep. I think he's done.
He had he was tied for 9th. He had a top 10 finish too in there. So yeah, he had that little surge, and then it's kind of fallen off since. Little League World Series. You said your kids are loving life. It's the starting of it. The actual, trying to qualify for those 8 spots or 16 spots, 8 U.S. spots, 8 international.
Right. Yeah, they love it because they can relate, man. It's kids like them.
I mean, they're fighting all over the world too. Yeah. So that's what's cool about this tournament. I mean, they're literally fighting all over the world. Well, I say fighting, but they're playing baseball all over the world.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Any of your kids ever get to be able to, like Gardner, do they ever try to compete to get into that? Did their teams ever qualify?
Well, the Little League is, they never played Little League.
Gotcha.
That's what's kind of changed today.
Yeah.
You hear the music in our background? We got music going on.
Yeah.
The Dallas School of Music.
We're at the Dallas School of Music, so we have lessons going on
you
here
should
and
there. Yeah. They never played, Little League, I grew up with Little League.
Yeah.
That was the only thing we could play.
Literally.
That was it.
I remember that, yeah.
If you're going to play baseball, you're going to be in Little League.
Yep.
And then you go from Little League to Babe Ruth.
Yes.
Right? And then
I remember those, yeah.
Babe Ruth to Connie Mack. And
what about when was the Pony
American
League?
Legion and
Well, I remember Pony League. That sounded familiar.
Pony League. I think that's before Little League.
Okay, that's okay.
I think
you're right. Could be, yeah.
But Little League was all we had.
Yeah.
Today now, this whole select team and these travel teams.
Yeah.
It's changed the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah. So Little League is almost considered like rec ball.
Oh wow. So these kids really aren't that good.
No, they are good. There are some. There are some. There are some kids there that are. There are some kids that are played very. All you got to do is watch it, and you go, man, that's a good little ball player.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I just was wondering. I didn't know how that worked. That's what I was wondering. And that's what it seems like. You either have the kids kind of playing
because there's some areas still though that little league is all those kids have.
Yeah. And I would imagine you get my point. Yeah, like smaller area, like somewhere in Louisiana or
Correct.
Arkansas.
You go to
or,
Hannibal, Missouri, maybe.
Texas.
You know what?
Exactly,
you know they probably all. I don't know. You know most. There's so for a lot of those kids, little league is their baseball.
Exactly. Oh, I left it right over there.
What is it?
I had to get my phone real quick.
Oh, you better get your phone, man. I'll sit here and talk to an empty mic.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, how you doing there, Ghost Josh? All right. Anyway, but yes, I was wondering how the Little League World Series. I was not work, but I was wondering. That's what I thought. I'm like, why wouldn't you would think you would see a lot more? That's what I was wondering. I think it's a little bit different, and that's more a little old school. It seems like.
Yeah.
All right. Last weekend had the Hall of Fame game. The week, obviously itself, we kind of mentioned the ceremony that happened on Saturday. Did you watch it?
Yes,
you did.
I did. Little bits and I got bits and pieces of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, bits and pieces of it because we were out of town.
Yeah. All right. So last night, a lot of games going on. I'm sure you didn't watch any of them.
No, but
that's what sucks. They're not even really on TV.
Correct.
I mean,
I heard Kyler.
He went good 6 for 7.
Had a good outing.
Yeah. I think it was like 6 for 7 and like 4. I forgot how many attempts, but yeah, I was trying to get the stories pulled up here if I could. Yeah, 6 for 7, a smooth debut. I think he had 10 to 14 snaps. 6 for 7, 44 yards and 10 snaps. They won 17-3. Kind of.
You think he's going to start? You think he's going to be the starter?
Are we kidding? Murray? Yeah, Kyler Murray.
You think so?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, he's definitely there. I mean, are you kidding me? Hey, here's one I forgot about. I didn't realize because the draft was so boring that the Giants drafted a quarterback in the first round in the 6th pick overall. I forgot about that. Some guy named Daniel Jones.
Yeah, right.
What? Anyway, hell, last night that was one of my great first impression. One drive, no incompletion, 1 touchdown pass. Pretty good. 5 for 5, 67 yards.
Is Manning out? Manning out.
He's the heir apparent. Manning is they're rolling with Manning. It looks like still, but this is the heir apparent. They're saying Manning, we're gonna kind of giving you one last chance, but this and especially after this.
You can't.
And it says Jones, who was booed after being the 6th pick overall. The Giants obviously booed.
Yeah,
but we're gonna say you can't. Yeah, you can't.
Well, you can't. I was gonna say you can't mess with royalty. The Manning family. Man.
Oh yeah,
you can't mess with that, man.
That and the one guy that has dethroned and beat the GOAT in the 2 Super Bowls that he did lose in. He's the one guy that beat Tom Brady twice, literally. I mean, ugly as it was, he got the job done.
Yeah, how many people can say that?
Oh yeah, 1.
Okay.
Anyway, so 5 for 5, 67 yards on 1 drive, included a 12-yard touchdown to old Benny Fowler. That's good to see old Benny still around. He's been around for a few years now. Anyway. Regardless, great opening drive, only 1 drive. So that's what you see. That's why I said it's the 3rd week, which we'll get into next weekend. Kind of the week I'm in Florida. That's kind of the week we'll see a lot of people play, week 3. That's the week where they'll play.
It starts to become more real.
Yeah, at least for 1 game, essentially. And then week 4, no one's playing because they're resting all the starters because they don't want anyone hurt right before the season opener. What I do love, the Monday night, the first Monday, obviously the only Monday night we're in Florida. So we get down there Saturday. Monday Night Football. Broncos, baby. So I get to watch Broncos on TV in Florida.
Yeah, because you don't have cable. You don't have cable, do you?
Well, no, I don't have it's a CBS.
Yeah, but I mean, so you better take advantage of it when you can.
Oh, exactly.
Because you ain't going to see the Broncos the rest of the season.
Oh, and they suck. So only way I'm going to be catching them, which I had to catch like every game last year, is pulling them up on my computer and watching some like third resort.
You're going to have a rough football season, man. Between the
them and the Razorbacks. I don't even watch the Razorbacks hardly anymore. I'm like, I'd root for TCU half the time now. I'm not even watching the Razorbacks. I'm like, well, that's an L. Okay, TCU, how we doing today?
Oh my gosh.
But no, all right. So last night, Kyler Murray did good. He did good. Broncos lost. Bring up because they played the Seahawks last night. Like I said, these games though, they're just you kind of take it with a grain of salt. It's a bunch of backups playing. Unfortunately, big injury last night. Big for the guy. One of the
I heard
for the Lions.
Yeah.
One of the starting wide receivers broke his leg and maybe hurt his ankle as well. So blocking at all. And of course, the Patriots just destroy the Lions in preseason, 31-3, as the Patriots do. I'm like, man. It's going to be another long year. I think the Patriots are going to be there again. As much people want to write off them or bring in, it's going to be the Chiefs this year. I'm like, hey, they still got to go through.
I think Brady's going to play until he realizes that that dynasty's over, which may not be.
Yeah.
He may be 60 years old.
Yeah, he's like, man, this is just kind of getting old now. This is repetition, but to him, he loves that. So, but great to see the football really rolling out. And yeah, Zeke, we got to talk about Zeke. What's he doing, man? Cowboys just need to move on. Like I said, I think they are, and like you said, just play the backup.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Zeke,
I mean, do you want that person into your organization now?
Listen, Zeke is
as good as he is. I'm sure the team wants him, but
he's trouble, dude.
Oh yeah,
he's trouble.
trouble.
Now you see he's trouble on the field.
Sprinkled. They'll sprinkle on and now on the field, off and now on the field.
That's right. He's trouble within the organization, and he's trouble outside of the organization.
So you want him gone. You want him gone.
See you later.
Yeah, I'm right there with
Dude,
you.
You ain't the only guy with 2 legs that can run.
Yeah, you're definitely a beast. You've shown that you're pretty good, but after this,
See
play and earn your money, and then I'll pay you next year. I don't have the money right now. I've got to pay 2 other people. Hello, the quarterback, and I forgot who.
Okay,
Amari.
Come on, here we go again. Signs of the honor your agreement.
Yeah, right. You still have 1 year left.
Honor it.
You still have a year left, and you're making like $5 million. Anyway.
Honor it.
All right, let's get into the MLB recap. Wild cards. Let's get into have this on the paper. Your Nationals in first place in the wild card race. I know we still have obviously quite a bit of time left, but they're 2 games in front of the Phillies. So your Washington Nationals looking good for the
I told you, man. Nationals are playing.
Indians in the first place in the AL. That's the NL. In the AL, Indians in first place, 3 games ahead of the Rays, and they're 3.5 ahead of my A's. So my A's are there.
Your A's are there, wild card.
And I should have went with the Stros, but I'd just be like, the whole year would be, why am I even worried? Because I know, because the Stros. Speaking of which,
why'd you pick the A's, man? I can't.
I wanted to
Was that just like you just grabbed a name out of the hat?
No. I did a little research. The A's, and I went through and looked at different teams because I wanted to go with someone. Like I said, I want to go with the Stros because obviously Yankees are in first place. They're 1 game ahead of essentially.
Yankees are very good.
Yeah, they're 76-39, where the Stros are 75-40. So they're 1 game ahead of them.
It pains me to say that, but the Yankees are very good.
Yep. And I'm hoping the Astros beat them because I can't stand the Yankees. And being here in Texas, love seeing the Stros, being close to them. So should have went with the Stros, but I went with A's. We kind of talked about them before we even did those picks. Speaking of the manager, and just kind of they were up there with a lot of different teams that were mentioned. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with the A's. Just old school pick. I've liked them, like back in the day when they had McGuire and Canseco. What were the Smash Brothers probably? Maybe?
Yeah, right.
And just their old school. I like their old school jerseys with the pin. They had the A's.
Oh, I've always loved the A's unis.
Yeah.
Man.
So, especially back in the day playing like video games. But anyway, I just I'm going to go with the Athletics and ride it out and see what happens. The Stros are just a homer pick. So, regardless, they're still there. Twins, though, 70-45, and the Indians are surprising me at 69-46. I guess someone's got to take the Central Division. But the Royals, they were so good there for a minute. And then what happened? This year they're terrible. 41-75.
I think there's only 1 guy left on the team.
Yeah, why do they? I don't understand. That's my point. Why do baseball teams do this so much? Why is there such a turnover rate? Why can't they keep players on teams? I don't get it.
It's called money.
Yeah, it is. And there's so much to be thrown around in baseball that
it's called money.
I don't understand how these guys want more money. I'm like, what are you doing with this money? Are you not banking up? Like, you're playing half the year, so you can't. I hope to God you can't spend it half the year. So the other half, you're spending $18-20 million that fast that you need another 25 the next year.
See, talk about honor and loyalty. That's why I love a Mike Trout, man. Old school. That dude's cut from an old school cloth.
Love it. Another one that I do like too, and we're gonna have a little talk about that. Everyone has this fascination with Trout. I'm like, is that his last name? I guess. It's my man Yelich.
Oh,
talk about a stud. That dude. That dude. We'll get to him in a minute. Let's get to the National League.
Yeah, because
the Braves are in front in the East. They're 60. Anyway, they're in the head in the East. Man, I've got to go back and listen to see what Steve's pick was. I forgot who he picked. I almost want to say it was the Phillies.
He liked the Phillies.
He did like the Phillies,
but he also was high on the Brewers.
I forgot who it was.
He felt the Brewers had the clubhouse.
Was it the Brewers?
It was the Brewers had the clubhouse atmosphere.
Well, the Cubs too, another team that. And, like, I'm sure just players falling off. The Cubs, they're in first place, but another team that had that little surge for, one and still trying to regather that again. I'm sure every Cubs fan wants that, obviously. Anyway, but they're in first place, which is good to see. So, you like what you see out of the Cubs? Yeah, nah?
Well, I grew up a Cubby fan.
Yeah.
Lifelong Cub fan.
And back to the Rangers here.
But right now I can't.
And you have the Rangers, but the Rangers they're kind of this year teeter-totting. They're just not going to do it.
And the Cubs, I just think, are arrogant, cocky, pompous.
Well, I think it comes back to who the GM is.
So
Theo.
Epstein. Right. I just don't. After spring training, when the Cubs intentionally avoided all fans, they would come up to my boys to sign autographs and go,
I remember that. You kind of were like, oh, this isn't this.
Come on, man, dude. This is your fan base, and that's what spring training's for.
Oh, that's what I love. The pictures from Jaron. Thank you, Jaron, again, if you're listening. The Bronco pictures. You see Von Miller cherishing his kid. Picked his kid up and put him on his shoulder.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
That's something that made the paper.
Yeah, right.
That's what you do.
That's what you do.
You see how many games the Broncos won last year? Not many. I can put them on one hand. Yet here he is, joyful, cheerful as can be,
Yeah.
picking the kid up,
Yeah. Yeah.
knowing he's got a 97-year-old quarterback this year. Another has-been that we get to pull up. Yeah, he's still happy.
Broncos are good. Broncos are good about that, right?
Yeah, and I love that's what I said that when he was out there. They're really good about that.
I'm surprised Elway doesn't just suit up, man. Come on, man.
I know, right?
Right? He should be looking at Brady going like,
right. Elway looks good. You see him?
Right.
When he's out there, I mean, he's still.
That's right. I'm saying
good.
Elway should be going like, man, if Brady can do it, I can do it.
Hey, I love to see him throw a ball and see what he's still got in the cannon. Elway, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I mean, it might look terrible. I'm like, why don't I even see that?
What would the stadium do, man, if he just suited up and ran out with Elway on his back? And
my God, probably the loudest it ever got.
Just as a
one snap, even
publicity
with a handoff.
stunt, a publicity, right, a publicity stunt, right?
I love it. The Dodgers, we'll get to the West, obviously looking great again. They're going to be. I'd love to see Dodgers-Stros round 3.
Well, Dodgers are going to be there, man.
You think so? Obviously, they really have no competition, really. I mean, who do you think? I mean, Braves, maybe.
The Dodgers.
Maybe your Nationals.
Yeah, the Dodgers. I love the Dodgers. I think they're a great team. I love watching them play. But I tell you what, they got a lot of stress on them right now because they could end up being the Buffalo Bills of baseball.
Could be.
You get this.
Well, of recent era, because the Dodgers have the past.
Yeah, they have the past.
Because Bills don't have anything. They have that 4-0. They have that 4-0, or I should say 0-4 streak, that Ofer, literally Ofer.
That's it.
4 in a row.
That's it.
Oh, that's got to hurt.
And I'm thinking the Dodgers.
How you go to 4 in a row? I mean, oh, man, I can't imagine the Bills fans in the 90s. Even now, still.
That's heartbreaking, man.
Anyway, but yeah, they could be. I didn't think about that. They could be the new Bills.
That's right.
Even though they have a past, the present is not so high.
To get there. If they get there this year, if they get to the World Series this year and lose again.
Oh, the pressure is going to be on them big time, even if they do. I'm sure they're going to be ready and pumped, and they know they got, especially if they don't play the Stros. Hopefully they get the Yankees.
Right.
But, man.
Well, the Yankees are tough too, man.
Oh, they are.
It's going to be a great playoff.
Yep, it'll be. Yeah, that's what I can't wait for. Honestly, this time of the year, I know you're watching it, but I can't. Couldn't watch a baseball game unless I see fights or I see 19-16.
That's so funny, man. Because every night I'm watching baseball.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
it's so funny, right?
Yeah. And I'm finding any football I can put on. I'm like anything. I don't care if it's preseason. It's like me out there essentially playing.
We have MLB.
Hey, who's this guy that probably can go play with the girl? That's another thing. All these guys are gonna get cut. Can go play in the WNFL.
There you go, man.
Go create a women's league. They get cut. The guys are now playing in it, and just call it the WNFL. Maybe have a girl or two playing.
Ladies are welcome.
Get my point. Yeah, there you go.
I'm with you there.
All right, let's get to Yelich versus Trout, and
Okay.
it's a great batting season between the two of them.
Yes.
Not that we're in any home run derby races, we're not going to have those home run races anymore, but close to having one. Just for new age sake. Let's get to Yelich's numbers. And here's why he's, I think, a better hitter. His average. He bats .336. I didn't know that. And then I went through past year. Like, the dude can hit. Not only can he hit, but he has 39 home runs. He's leading the league.
He's a pure hitter.
Man.
He's old school hitter, too, man.
He had no idea he won MVP last year until he was on a show I watched called Ridiculousness. I'd hardly even heard of him because I'm not big into baseball like I tell you about. More so this year doing this, doing a podcast. I'm trying to keep up with sports again. But I see him on it's a show called Ridiculousness. It's on MTV. It's one of those funny shows where they show clips and laugh at it or whatever. Like me and you would be, oh God, look at that guy. He has pants running around. Now he's running to his mom. Or I don't know. I almost said Dekmar, but
he's got a beautiful swing, man. You watch him?
But anyway, back to the point. When I hadn't heard of him, didn't know he won MVP, then looked it up. I'm like, wow. And now see what he's doing again this year after an MVP season, putting up another MVP caliber season. And to me, I guess it wasn't for Trout. Obviously, he'd probably be running away with it.
Yeah, he almost won the triple the crown last year. He was one, I think, one home run shot.
Was he? Yeah. See, I didn't look into that, but I know he was close. I know, and even this year, once again, because point being, batting .336, so he's one off from the batting average title. You're winning it this year. He's got 39 home runs, so I know that leads the league. .336, actually, I have that. That's why I have that. Those both lead the league, I should say. So he's getting there close again. Because the other day, I looked about a week ago, and his average there was someone right above him, and now I think they're tied. I forgot what the guy's name that he was tied with. I should have wrote it down. Anyway.
You know he was going to quit baseball, man?
Yelich was.
Yeah.
Wow,
why? When he was a kid. He tells the story that he was going to quit. He wasn't really all that enamored with it. He was kind of bored with it.
Yeah.
He was going to quit baseball. His mom said, "No, you can't quit baseball." And she said, "Man, you got potential in baseball. You got a great swing." And he goes, "I just want to quit." And she goes, "No, you play." She goes, "I'll tell you what. For every hit you get, I'll give you $5."
Wow.
And he went, "For every hit,
I'll get $5.
$5.
Done.
Sign me up, Mom."
Yeah. So, hey, he took that to heart. Anyway, batting .336 this year, 39 home runs, 84 RBIs.
I bet she's not doing that bet now today.
Oh,
she's like, "Hey, forget it, man. I'm not paying you squat."
Yeah, literally. I mean, imagine this: 84, 80. He's got 82 runs. So imagine. So that's you get my point. Imagine how many hits he's got. He's got 82 runs.
Yeah.
So she'd be paying up a lot.
No, he's a stud.
Oh yeah.
He's up there.
Oh yeah. On base percentage 428. Slugging percentage 705. OPS is 1.133. His WAR's 6.4. I put 7.4, but it's 6.4. Trout. He's batting .299, so definitely it's almost well below. 300's good, but when someone's batting .336, that'd be like saying
but you
339 versus 3.
You know why Trout gets all the love?
60. Why?
Well, the consistency year after year after year.
Yeah,
after
Yelich
year
is
after
still
year.
young.
Yes, and this is Yelich's second year of doing it.
Yeah. So 38 home runs to 39. 89 RBIs to 84, so he's got him on our RBIs. He's got 88 runs to 82 runs, so he's beating him there. On base percentage is 440, so he's got him there. His slugging, 672, so that's a little bit below. His OPS is 1.106, so that's below, but his WAR is 7.1, so that's higher. So it's kind of like a back and forth, but still, I had no idea that kid is that.
He's fantastic.
I knew Trout, obviously, and then speaking of which, because we brought it up, because of the whole Griffey thing, let's see what he does this year in his 9th year. Wow, Trout's really actually producing.
I just saw some stats. They took Mickey Mantle's stats at the same age of Mike Trout right now, right? And you could basically take Mickey Mantle's stats for the last 8 years, the first 8 years of his career, and Mike Trout's, and it's almost like
the same numbers,
a carbon copy.
That's crazy.
It's almost like a carbon copy.
Nuts.
And that's wild, because I've always said, I've told my boys many times, if you ever wondered what it was like to watch Mickey Mantle play, you don't have to wonder anymore.
Yeah.
Watch Mike Trout.
Exactly. So great, literally just crazy to see. Just because there for a while, batting to me, it seemed like it died off. You didn't see guys hitting these numbers.
Correct.
This is kind of seems to be one of the first
it's
years in a while
refreshing.
where you see
right.
almost 50 home runs in a season, 100 plus RBIs. Like I said, when I went through Trout's, I'm sorry, but a little unimpressed.
Right.
Because you're just comparing to Griffey's numbers, and because Griffey he tore off in a hurry. I mean, he was hitting 50 home runs like in a second, third. You know what I'm saying? Hitting 100 plus RBIs. So the fact that obviously because of the age that he was in, it was crazy. It was just a normal thing for Griffey. But when you look back, knowing that he was as clean as he was, you're going, wow.
Well, he was a stud, man.
You get my point. But that's what
right.
the era then. My point being, then kind of fell off for a while because people had to be clean. They had to figure. It seemed like they had to kind of figure out how to work this new game. And now the Trouts of the world weren't even on the map yet. This is mid 2000s. So now 2010ish is now coming around. We have a whole new slew of players. Now you're starting to see a regeneration of hitting. You're starting to see players actually hit better and get those RBIs now finally up to the 100 plus that you saw in the early in the 90s and the 80s.
Gardner and I did a funny little on our way back from Atlanta. We pulled up the draft that Mike Trout was the year that Trout was drafted. He was drafted number 24 in the first round. 24,
which is great, honestly, because there's 1,000 people. 1,000. Yeah. How many? There's lots of rounds. A lot of people get drafted.
So for fun, I said, let's go through the list of the first 23.
Yeah. And
show you how tough this is, right?
Yeah.
We go number 1, we go who? Number 2.
Never even heard you being baseball fans had never even heard of him.
Gone. And out of the first
they're playing in the WLMLB. Sorry, I'm going with this the whole show now.
You're just putting W in front of everything,
yeah.
right? You're starting all new leagues, man.
Yes, literally. That these duds.
Anyway. And then are you going to have a TMLB?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
There
a
you
TMLB.
Go. Yes. Only got like 3 teams right now. We're working on teams and coaches and players, but we're getting there. But I can only imagine
that would be great. Right?
It would be.
You got the
tonight on ESPN Ocho. We've got the TLBT World Series. Did I say TLBT? I don't even. I just made TLBT.
TMLB.
Oh, I said the trans. I see.
TMLB.
I see. I'm putting the T. I'm making it the group now. The trans. You get my point. I'd get it right though. Yes. You get my? It would be cool.
Oh God.
Hey, I'd watch it. It'd be an extra sport. It'd be something else to put on and us to tell. We'd be talking about it. It'd be like, you see last night, and
we got to do our bracket. We got to do our brackets for the TMLB
or the TNFL,
the TNFL,
or the WNFL.
Yeah, fantasy. We got to put our fantasy league together for the TNFL.
Hey, I'm down. Hey, I'd do it for a year. Anyway, but great to see hitting the two guys, two studs. I know we always mention Trout, so I had to bring up.
Yes.
Had to. Yes. All right. So, speaking of drafts, which is awesome, you brought that up, and you didn't hear 23 people that came before Mike Trout, and not one.
There's like 3 that we've heard of.
Gotcha. Heard of.
That's actually playing in the pros.
Gotcha. All right. Let's go to another draft. So, how the world is trained to the coveted Stutter Dud segment, by the way. Dun, 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 dun. Let's get to the Stutter Dud segment. Vince Carter, super stud.
Yes.
Entering his 22nd
Good guy, too.
season.
Good guy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's a great guy. Love it. Went to UNC, which I loved.
Yeah.
Here, how about a stud draft? Talk about that draft, which I'm sure could have been a stud draft overall. How about people that were drafted in front of and then around him, Vince Carter, and then all the way back in the 1998 draft. Let's go back in time.
Yeah, right.
All right, so we're back in 1999 because he didn't actually debut until 99. He was drafted in 98. Injury anyway. He didn't start. His first game wasn't until January or February of 99. So it was midway through the season.
Okay.
So let's go through the draft. Let's get back to that. And one of the first duds, one of the back in the day, especially when I say this name, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I remember that name.
Probably drafted by the Mavericks.
Actually, the Mavericks that year. And hold on. Michael Olowokandi. Do you remember Michael Olowokandi? He was at the time, he was up there with like the Ryan Leafs of like the worst number 1 draft picks of all time, especially in the NBA, and he still is. Michael Olowokandi. Remember him? Barely. Yeah. Remember the name? But let me get to the rest of the studs that fill out this lineup. Mike Bibby. Remember Ray LaFrance?
Yes.
Antoine Jameson, a former teammate at UNC of Vince Carter. Vince Carter was at 5. That was the first top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you remember Robert Tractor Trailer?
Oh, yes.
That's who the Mavs drafted that year. Guess who they traded with, though? And then guess who? And just ended his season. He had the record. He tied it. And then just retired.
Dirk.
They traded with Dirk that year. Is that not a crazy draft?
That's a crazy draft.
He was 7, 6, 7. He was 8th overall, I think. I have Jason Williams,
Tractor.
Dirk, Paul, and then I have Paul Pierce. So we have Paul Pierce, Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Williams, Tractor Trailer, Antoine Jameson, Vic. We got Vince Carter, Mike Bibby. I mean, that's a stud starting lineup right there.
Right.
You'd probably have Mike Bibby, Jason Williams, Paul Pierce, Dirk, and Vince Carter out there. So you'd probably have. Or you could go big and go Jason Williams or Mike Bibby at the 1, put Paul Pierce or Vince Carter at the 2 and 3, however you want to flip-flop it, and then put Antoine Jameson and Dirk down low.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good 6 guys right there for sure. Then you got Ray LaFrance and Robert Tractor Trailer coming off the bench, and no one's playing. And Michael Olowokandi, even though he's the top pick, he ain't going to see any playing time.
Yeah. You wonder if Carter feels like, when he gets to,
Atlanta picked him up. He played for them last year, but anyway, I just want to say.
He's got to feel like an old man.
Played for the Mavs.
He's got to feel like an old man. Yeah, no, yeah, right? But he's got to feel like an old man, right? Everybody's playing with is like 20 years old.
Literally.
He's like older than the coach.
Yes, and it's crazy that Dirk just retired and set the record. And I'm sure Vince, you know what, I can easily play one more season. I'm going to go ahead and set the record. It's crazy that both of them were drafted in the same year.
Yeah.
We're literally still playing together that many years later.
If I was Dirk, I'd go, what? He's coming back? I'm coming back.
Yeah,
then.
He should have, right?
Yeah.
I'm not retiring until you retire.
You're right.
Dude, one of those movie type moments where they're playing until they're doing the Tom Brady. They're out here at 53. They're not playing anymore. They're on the bench. Teams are just signing them to keep the record alive and be it like they're terrible teams, but just for publicity they're signing them.
Right. Oh my gosh.
But it's crazy. So let's get back to now. Let's go back in time to 1999. The leading scorer in the league was Allen Iverson at 27 points per game. MVP was Karl Malone. San Antonio wins the first of many championships to come. Speaking of San Antonio, another name drop there from your trip. Super Bowl that year, loved it. Back-to-back for my Broncos, who beat the Falcons 34-19. Bill Clinton was POTUS. Y2K was upcoming. Everyone was freaking out what was going to happen.
Right. I remember that.
Number 1 movie that week that he actually debuted was a movie that had Freddie Prinze Jr., had Rachel Lee Cook, rest in peace, God bless his beautiful face and soul, Paul Walker. It was called She's All That. Iconic quote from the movie going around at the time, or from movies. I see dead people.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
right,
that?
Right.
Number 1 song that week, Hit Me Baby One More Time, Britney Spears. Postage stamps were just 33 freaking cents compared to the 55 or 4, whatever they are now. Here's another crazy moment. What did the U.S. women's national team just do? Won the World Cup 20 years ago.
Wow.
That's when Brandi Chastain took her
yeah.
top off and had her crazy moment.
Right.
All of that happened 20 years ago, back when Vince Carter
Man, it just doesn't,
first
it seems
started.
like yesterday, man.
It really does, especially even for me. And I'm just a young pup at the time.
Yeah, that seems like yesterday. Y2K.
Right.
The world's coming to an end.
Yeah, all the internet, our computer's going to crash.
The computer, yeah.
Whatever.
And we all sat there, and then midnight hit, and we all went,
okay, now I can move on. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing. I want to maybe just a little freak out.
yeah,
Nothing. But yeah, just crazy. Let's get, anyway, super duper stud. I love Vince Carter. The 2000, I think it was the year 2000, the dunk contest. Do you remember his dunk contest?
Oh, yes.
I'm sure barely briefly for you, but for me, he was the last amazing dunk contest for me. It was ridiculous. And it still is up there with the best dunks of all time. He did the reverse 360, the one where he put his hand all the way through and it was hanging there from like that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, all those, the one where he did the what, I forgot.
You can't do that anymore.
He just is, he was one of my favorites. So he just a salute to VC, like that dude.
Yeah.
Air Canada, as they called him. And I was, as much as Air Jordan, I was cool with Air Canada. I'm like, that dude, and so I'm sure Jordan was too. That dude can fly.
Yeah,
and he went to UNC like Jordan did. So, I mean, love it. Getting goosebumps. Love that dude. So I'm glad to see him still play. Can't fly like you. The 2000 Olympics, too, even though we didn't do great. I think we got like bronze or silver that year. I don't think we won gold. When he dunked over the 7-footer, do you remember that?
Yes,
There's like a poster. He literally jumped, and I'll never forget, Kevin Garnett's reaction literally was like, and it's Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Garnett on the floor was just like, wow, went berserk. Like, what are you, like, you just went over a 7-footer. Like, how did you do that?
Right.
At his, anyway. But
he had a good vertical leap.
Yeah, a little. But let's get into another stud moment that I've been waiting to see, and it's another thing I brought up in the show that I've just been waiting to see happen. Another reason why I never sit in these seats, but the netting in MLB parks being extended.
Yes.
Because it comes back to, speaking of my Stros, and they're going to be the latest team to do it, back in May, and, never bring up, because this is one of the things that just happens here
There's
and there.
nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah, no. But yeah, where the 2-year-old got, whammied, like it's going to happen. I mean, people are going to not pay it. You get my point. And that's like even the baseball rule, whatever it's called, like on every ticket that says, hey, but I'm glad to see the no... What are the knotless netting that they're going to come up that they've got that you can see much. Netting's never even affected my view.
It's never affected mine either.
So
I'm not bothered by it.
Yeah. So anyway, put it down and the White Sox are doing with the owner.
Hey, obviously it doesn't affect a lot of people that buy top dollar tickets right
behind the home plate.
Come on.
So extend it to the foul pole like the White Sox are doing, and I'm sure most teams will eventually follow suit. Just get it done.
It's smart.
It is super smart
because you get hit with a hard ball.
Woman died last year. I think it was last year before, where the woman died. She got hit and then died from afterward.
It doesn't affect it just doesn't affect the game.
Yeah,
it doesn't affect your view or your enjoyment of the game.
Exactly.
In the stands.
Put it up for
safety.
safety.
It just will not.
Yeah. Glad to see it being done.
And I'm a big baseball guy.
Exactly, and that's why I wanted your take on it.
Yeah, no, I think I'm absolutely all for it.
Good, and I am me. That's me. Safety, the gun, back to the guns thing. Just make things safer.
Do as much as you can.
Exactly.
As much as you can.
But yeah, that's something that should. And I'm glad the White Sox owner said, "Boom, it's done." The Stros are getting theirs done. I think the date was August 19th. Theirs will be completed by their extension. So good to see these teams getting that done. Definitely so. God forbid I finally go to a game and then that happened to me. Hey, I mean, that's my fear.
It only takes a second, and as much as you want to think that you're going to pay attention the entire game,
you're not.
You're not, because somebody wants you to pass down a beer, and you go, oh,
hot dog,
and so you're
checking your phone,
you're passing it down,
getting a picture, even
right,
comes right into your face. Get my point. And then I didn't even think about this. How it affects the players.
Yeah,
they're torn.
And
it's good to see. Thank gosh. Obviously, they're not just like whatever. But the Cubs. I think it was
Almora.
Yeah,
man, he just was
distraught.
Distraught, man. He was distraught.
I mean, and so how long afterward that affects them? And then they're probably even then scared to go out at the plate and go 100% and go swing, because they might be scared they're going to do that again.
Yeah.
So just get that done.
Yeah, right.
All right, on next week's show, we've kind of teased it. We've got another guest.
Can't wait for this, man.
Pops will be on the show. The Outlaw.
Your daddy.
The Thomas Smith, and that's what he was called, Outlaw, the legendary. Outlaw Tom
I can't
Smith.
wait, man.
He'll be sitting down. We'll
I
talk
can't
old
wait to put him in the chamber.
Oh, the chamber of questions will be upon us again. We'll talk old school radio versus new school radio.
He's seen it all, hasn't he, man?
Oh, man, he's
seen the whole transition from old school to new school.
Having to cut reels back in the day.
Yeah.
Doing how many cuts he used to get using the little blades, having to cut that's, doing reel to reel. Oh,
he's like a Wacky museum, man.
Literally. The stuff he remembers, like Cowboys, Arkansas stuff. I mean, you can ask him a lot of stuff from like 1960-something, and he remembers that better than what he ate for dinner yesterday.
Right. Doesn't even remember if he changed his underwear or not.
Exactly.
But he can tell you.
Yeah, he'll tell you what happened in that 1971 Sugar Bowl when the Razorbacks played the Oklahoma Sooners. Also, how he discovered the Emerald Coast, where we'll be going, where he's flying out next Friday as well. So he'll be joining us. He's got a show. Join us for the podcast, and then he flies out. Mom and Dad fly out not too long after that. Then me and Avery will be taking the drive down on Saturday.
Good for you guys.
Cannot wait.
That's good for you guys.
But yes, Pop Song, we'll get him in the chamber. Another thing I was thinking about doing next week, which we could probably do, we'll start teasing who we might think about drafting.
Oh, yes.
For our fantasy draft.
Yeah.
And then we'll have an easy show when I'm in Florida. We'll keep that short, sweet, and easy.
You've already given us thought how we're going to set everything up? Is
we'll keep it easy.
Is it going to be through ESPN? What's it going to be through?
We can do that if you want to, or we can just do we could do a simple one, or we could do one where I literally set the computer up, or we could do it, whether we figured out, we do computer, we do phone.
Whatever you think, man.
Yeah, or we could, turn the camera around or get another camera set up, or we do your computer where we get up. All right, it's round 2, and then we see Doc get up, and he goes to make his pick over at the computer, and then we'll have another camera facing you over there, so I'll go back and edit that. But you get my point. We'll figure it out, though.
All right, we'll
do something like that to where it's on one of the apps, Yahoo or ESPN, one of the two. We'll do simple setup where it's like one quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. May just go 1 running back because the league we're in anymore, you can't even do 2 running backs. But you get my point. We'll get it set up, keep it basic, keep it easy, where we obviously will get stud players.
Awesome.
Because there's only 2 of us.
Yeah,
and then next year, when we're in year 2, we're getting other people involved, like everything. Like when we do the March Madness this year 1, everything's test trial run. Like when we did the March Madness, we did the brackets. Well, next year, we're getting everyone involved. Fans involved. We're getting family involved.
We're going to have a T stud and dud bracket?
Well, yeah, let's do it. I'm down. Definitely down. Definitely down. I figured that would just be all in one, but sure, we'll make one just for them if they want. I don't care. I want everyone happy. That's all I care about. Obviously.
All right,
I'm Mr. Happy.
Okay.
Yeah, back to that for sure. But yeah, we'll maybe do that next week. But definitely get Pops on. Can't wait to send them into the chamber.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
All that and much more. And don't forget to subscribe. Can I subscribe to us? Subscribe. Can't even say the word. Subscribe to us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify to hear all the episodes. That crisp sound you hear from these beautiful microphones.
Man, you do a great job though. The recordings are awesome.
Then you get to see the videos on YouTube. You can see these mugs right here, the cool shoes.
Yeah, because we're not just radio faces.
We got it. Oh yeah, come on. Hello, that's what I signed up for. I wanted to be on TV. I'm still trying. Someone, come on, ESPN, put us on your. You know what I mean?
Yeah, come on, man. Stud and dud. That should be national, if not international.
Oh, we're getting there. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You better be following us, people. All right, that's all for this week. Thank you all for listening. Until next week, I'm Josh Smith.
I'm Bob Lawrence.
Peace.